Hello everyone, welcome back to Allcarnews, and you join us here today with the heavily refreshed 2025 GMC Yukon and this new Denali Ultimate trim. And this vehicle is coming in at just nearly $108,000 as configured right now, with a gorgeous shade of downpour metallic paint here. We have a lot of unique new features on this Denali Ultimate trim, as well as a lot of major updates for the entire GMC Yukon lineup as part of the big refresh of GM's big family of large full-size SUVs, ranging from the Suburban, Tahoe, Escalade, and of course this Yukon. So of course in this video, I'm going to take you guys on a full tour and review of this all-new Yukon, show you all of the amazing and unique luxury features, and see if you may want to consider this over a Cadillac Escalade, because this all-new Denali Ultimate is really making a case for itself and setting its own unique luxury aspect and parts aside from what you're going to be getting in an Escalade. Let's go dive in. Now, opening up the hood of this all-new 2025 GMC Yukon, well, we're not going to see anything all new really under the hood here. This is the tried and true 6.2 liter GM Ecotec 3 V8 found in every single one of this vehicle's own siblings, and it's also been around for quite some time now, but it still is making some healthy numbers at 420 horsepower and around 360 pound-feet of torque. And this application, of course, is paired to a 10-speed automatic gearbox, sending power to all four or rear wheels, depending on what you want to select on the interior. Full-time transfer case, of course. This is still a big body-on-frame SUV, and of course, this one can tow around 8,200 pounds as well. Pretty smooth. It's a little more quieter than I think this V8 used to be, and this transmission definitely makes it a little more smoother on and off the road. I've actually seen pretty decent MPG numbers on this particular truck. We got around 21 MPG on the highway today, which is pretty nice actually, so that kind of shocked me. So it could still be a little bit eco, I guess, if that, I don't want to say that in its name, but otherwise, you know, nothing too crazy new under the hood here. We've seen a lot of this stuff before, and also, of course, another V8 lower power option you can get in the lower trim to the Yukon, as well as the Duramax inline-6 turbo diesel as well in some trims. So you have a few engine options still in the Yukon, and of course, the other vehicles as part of the GM full-size SUV family. Now, for all of you shoppers looking at this all-new 2025 GMC Yukon, especially in the Denali and Denali Ultimate trims here, the main new things you're going to be seeing really on this exterior is this front fascia redesign here. So it may take a little bit of squinting at first to notice, but we do have new headlights here, and I think they're really slick. They now have animations, so when you unlock and lock the vehicle, they kind of do a cool pattern. We also have some really nice details and accents in here, such as Denali logos throughout the exterior built into the headlights, which glow up. Also, I think they look quite imposing and bold, and also imposing and bold is this redesigned grille up here. I think this is incredibly distinctive, of course, very GMC-esque. And since we have this Denali Ultimate appearance package, we're getting this dark finish in here, as well as the dark GMC badge, which you can really only get on these top spec Denali trims. All of the other trims of the Yukon, such as the Elevation or the AT4, or even the AT4 Ultimate, I believe, get a traditional red GMC badge. Also helping this 2025 GMC Yukon stand out are these absolutely massive 24-inch Denali Ultimate wheels we have on this car. We have this Denali logo etched into each four of the wheels, this really cool dark graphite machine style finish here, and we actually have a decent amount of sidewall on these tires for these Bridgestone rubber here. Obviously not too big, but surprisingly this combination does not really impede the ride quality that much. The fully adaptive air suspension on this vehicle, combined with this tire and wheel combo, surprisingly offers a really floaty, luxurious, comfortable ride out on the highways and on roads. The only areas where I've noticed some little jitters and bumps coming into the cabin is over really, really broken pothole style pavement, and that's just going to be a characteristic of these body and frame platforms. I've noticed it across the board from across all brands. Hopping around over to the rear end of this GMC Yukon Denali Ultimate here, again, pretty slim refresh design stuff going on here. I really like the now pronunciation of the Denali badge in the back of all the Denali models now. And this particular one with this Ultimate appearance package, we have blacked out Denali badges up here, grayed out GMC and Yukon badges as well as this kind of dark metallic finish accent right here, going into these awesome LED C-shaped taillights, which also have those cool animations at the front, new new LED headlights are also getting. I also like how GM hides their wiper right up here, so we still have a nice wiper back here. We also are getting a digital rear view mirror, which has its own cameras and washers right here. And again, huge fan of this paint finish. It really helps this SUV stand out. But we're also going to notice the new quad exhaust tips on this particular one down here. You can see in this really bright chrome work finish. Surprisingly, these are really similar to the ones that you're going to find on things like an all-new GMC Acadia, as well as a Chevrolet Traverse as well. You're even going to find these exhausts as well on like a new Tahoe. So pretty common across the field, but I think they look quite nice. Let's pop open our trunk area over here and see what we're doing. So of course, popping open the trunk over here, we have a full power tailgate as we should expect. And since this is just a regular Yukon and not the Yukon XL, we have around, I think 23-ish cubic feet of cargo space behind our third row over here. We can fit, I would say, it's 3 people in that third row. Again, nothing's really changed in terms of our interior dimensions. Like, this is just a big facelift. But with the Denali Ultimate, we're getting this really unique interior combo. So this one's also getting an upgraded all-weather floor mat interior. So we have these really nice premium upgraded floor mats, all-weather mats throughout the entirety of the interior. They even cover the backs of these seats over here, which I think is quite nice as well. We can even open up our floor area over here for a little bit of tiny extra more storage, which honestly isn't too helpful. But on the right-hand side over here, we do have power controls to fold down our third row if we do choose to do so, which is a pretty easy process. Our headrests fold down and the seats will fold down to unlock even more cargo space. Fold down those second row captain's chairs, we're going to get even more cargo space up here, well north of 100 cubic feet. So you definitely have a lot of cargo capacity over here, and you're not really sacrificing too much storage space as well for that third row. And I like how this third row is also power up as well, which is a really nice touch. Okay guys, let's go see what's new on the interior of this GMC Yukon Denali Ultimate. As always, I love how we get keyless access on all 4 doors, as well as these bright chrome work trim on the door handles here. Opening up the door, we have a nice wide opening angle as well, almost 90 degrees, but it is really easy to get in and out of here with a side step as well as an additional step here. And we can see more of those really nice all-weather floor mats. But let's go have a look at the third row now. We just press this button right here. It should fold the seats down pretty easily and be able to release it for us as well. Love that. And let's hop inside. Getting inside here, we'll put our seat back down for us as well, and we can pop the seat back up just to give us a little more of an idea of how much legroom we're going to get back here. But it is quite spacious, I will say. We have a tiny little cup holder over here, as well as a USB-C port and a little clip back here for, I believe, our seat belts, which is nice. Nice rear quarter window as well for some easy visibility. And I think it's pretty decent in terms of leg space back here. This seat on the passenger side is a little bit further back just to see, but I would say I can still fit back here pretty well with that second row passenger still having some nice legroom of themselves. We also have air vents right above us on either side, as well as these nice LED lights to give us a little more illumination back here. Headroom is also pretty good, and the seats are really comfortable with this unique Denali Ultimate interior. So we have this cool terrain pattern on the seats, as well as this nice baseball style stitching and nice white piping. I have to say, this is a pretty comfortable and expensive feeling seat. We also have perforation back here as well. And I really do like these all-weather floor mats throughout this entire interior. It really does help to elevate the cabin, and I like how it kind of matches the theme of the seat and interior design, this mahogany style leather. But I have to say, these third row seats are pretty nice, and getting in and out is pretty easy. And of course, since they are captain's chairs, we really could just walk out of here easy as well. But getting out, if you want to go a normal way, you can just press this button back here, and the seat just folds down like I saw before. Press it one more time, and it should fold itself up for you. So getting in and out of this car in the third row is really, really easy, and it really can fit adults as well. So I do like that about this all-new GMC Yukon Denali. Now let's take a tour of this second row in the GMC Denali Ultimate here, and this interior is really, really nice. We can see we have full privacy glass as well as increased insulation back here, as it is a pretty expensive truck. And I love this full grain leather on the door panels up here with the nice stitching. We're getting nice real open pore wood trim, more of that baseball stitching. And of course, lower down here, harder scratchier plastics, but we do get a lot of nice storage cubby inserts over here, as well as these massive speakers for our Bose Performance Series speaker system. There's around 18 speakers in this particular one, but we also have really comfortable seats in here as well. Now you can get upgraded seats that are even more advanced than this one for the executive seating package that I believe get massage, heated, and cooling, but this one just heated. I do like the unique touches here with this nice stitching, perforation, and just this cool terrain pattern on here. Of course, we can adjust the seats via these little switches here, and we get this cool Denali Ultimate badge down here on the side sill plate. But let's hop inside. Again, getting in and out is really easy. We have a lot of grab handle points in here. Nice big doors. Nice solid thunk on them as well. We have a nice big window over here for plenty of viewing pleasure. But also back here, we are getting an entertainment system on the back of this vehicle. So both rear passengers are getting their own touchscreen entertainment systems here. And you have really cool controls in here. As you can see, we have 2 HDMI ports we can select from, as well as YouTube, Hulu, YouTube Kids, a full web browser. And we are getting these cool GMC branded headphones right over here as well. We can connect to this vehicle. So I think that's a pretty cool touch as well. We even have one over there for our passenger, and you have even a home screen on this vehicle. You can turn it on and off, go to whole settings, and you can connect Bluetooth headphones as well. So pretty cool stuff in this own touchscreen back here. Back of the seats are also fully wrapped in leather, which is really nice of a touch back here. Even these lower storage cubbies as well are really nice with the cool stitching. Plenty of legroom back here, and I like how these seats finally have some nice bolstering to them. I'm glad GMC actually added that to these second row captain's chairs. We also get this massive new touchscreen display back here for our climate control, so we can change our heated seat adjustment right here from these little panels, which is pretty cool. Here you have your 2 HDMI ports as well as USB-C charging ports as well, and you can turn and control your air vent system back here for your full climate control. So I really like this display. And when you got the upgraded executive seating package, of course, I believe you have the controls back here, I think for massage as well as cooling. So that's a really nice touch, as well as upgraded to 22 speaker Bose Performance Series audio system versus the 18. For our own air vents back here, LED light right above us as well for some illumination, and this massive panoramic glass roof that goes pretty much all the way back here to allow for some nice viewing of the sky as well. So I really do like these seats. I have to say they're comfortable. We have nice armrests on them as well, easy to fold down and get into the third row as well, but we also have that nice pass-through access. But pretty nice place back here. I have to say, I don't think that executive package really is going to add that much more value, I would say, to this car, other than the upgraded speakers, which I think it's a little annoying that they're tied to that package, but nonetheless pretty comfortable back here. But let's go hop up front, because this is where the big changes are really happening in this Denali Ultimate. Now, like we saw out back, really nice door panels, and all this materials in here feel very, very premium. Same thing with our seats up here. We're also getting those all-weather formats, nice side sill plate here for the Denali Ultimate trim, as well as these really nice seats. And this one actually does feature these Bose Performance Series speakers right in the headrest for both front driver and passenger, which is a really nice touch, as well as these unique Ultimate badges, and of course that cool terrain trim on here. Let's hop inside and see what we're getting in this interior. Nice solid door thunk as well, and voila, here we are in the all-new GMC Yukon interior, which is a incredibly improved space. So let's power it up. Nice big start-stop button right there. That V8 rumbles to life pretty quickly here, and this is a vastly improved interior space, I would say, over the previous pre-facelifted GMC Yukon interior. Starting off with this entire theme in here, this is unique to the Denali Ultimate trim. This is mahogany style, full grain leather interior, again with this open pore wood, premium stitching and everything all around us. Now, right off the bat, this is the all-new GM style steering wheel here. We've seen this in plenty of new GM products, so very familiar with these controls up here. Our gear selector stock is now on the steering wheel over here. We've seen this in, again, pretty much every new GM product. Drive, neutral, reverse, and park right there. Pretty easy to use. We do have paddle shifters as well for the 10-speed, but we have to access those via pressing the low-range gearbox button on the steering wheel. That will unlock that access there. Love the nice baseball-style stitching on this fully leather-wrapped steering wheel, of course heated as well. Super Cruise in this one, so that works very, very flawlessly. And I love the amount of physical buttons in this car. So we have physical buttons for everything. We have a drive mode selector right here, so that's going to unveil normal, sport, off-road, and a tow haul mode. We have our trailer brake controller over here. We're also going to get an air suspension controller. Press that button, that's going to pop up on our digital cluster up there. Auto, all-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, 2 high, 4 low, and 4 high as well, so that's easily controllable right there. Full headlight controls, and we have quick access buttons to things like our 360 camera, so that's going to pop open our camera system here in our center display. Love GM's newer camera systems. They're incredibly clear all around the vehicle. Really nice amounts of different camera views and angles in here, so I really appreciate that. We're also getting a new turn signal style camera in this vehicle as well, so when we are in drive, we will get a turn signal camera when you put your turn signal signal on the left or right in this center screen, which you can disable if you don't like it, but I think it's a pretty helpful feature, especially in such a large truck. And I think this screen is also pretty nice. We've seen this in every much GM product these days, so this is a unique application of it as it's really integrated into the dash here. So we have a more traditional style dashboard layout. It's not just sticking out on top like we saw on the Sierra Denali EV. And of course, we have plenty of different gauges here we can control from the screen. So we have a more traditional dual style screen. We have Google Maps. You can put Apple Maps there as well as Waze if you're using that. We have a screen here for our driver assist systems. And we also have night vision as well as a $2,000 package to get this. And it's thermal night vision, so it will actually kind of track like a deer or something at night. It's a little tiny little screen here, but at night it does work actually quite well. So that's kind of cool of a feature if you ever are really going to use that. Of course, we have a heads-up display on here and a nice premium stitched upper dash section as well. And I like this little storage cubby up here. It's easy to open. It's fully felt lined. It's great for your sunglasses and stuff. So I do like that. But my favorite part of this interior is the upgraded infotainment system. We've seen this new screen in the GMC Sierra EV Denali. We've seen it as well in the GMC Acadia, and it works fantastic. This is one of the larger applications of this screen as well, and I think it's the best one of the best ones that GM is putting in their newer vehicles here. I think the orientation is really good. I like the use of physical buttons down here for our complete climate control system, so you don't have to be digging through screens to get your climate, but you can control the rear climate from here if you turn it on or off, as you can see, as well as our front climate system. You can turn that on and off independently, which is pretty cool. But we can also just use these controls and dials down here to control our fan speed, our temperature control, as well as auto and some stuff. We even have our ventilated and heated seat controls easily accessible right there. So we have a quick mute button as well on the side panel here, so we can do that. We can even power the screen off, and so it makes it a little bit more of a cleaner layout if you don't want to see all this stuff. Double tap to turn it back on. And I like the big giant physical volume knob in this little center area over here that's kind of stuck onto the display. Really sleek layout there. Now you can do so much stuff with this screen. You can even have Apple CarPlay display up here, and you can change all these little buttons here to really make them customizable to you. But you also have a full app drawer as well. You can kind of cycle through. You can even control what's happening on each of the rear screens back there and lock them as well if you would like, for kids, which is pretty cool. We have our built-in Google navigation system, which is actually quite quick, very easy to use. But of course, you can use Apple CarPlay on this car as well as Android Auto if you don't want to have those particular functions on here. No ambient lighting in this interior, which I honestly would have liked to see, especially for this near $110,000 price point. But thankfully, we do get massage. So if you can use your controls on your seat over here, you're going to see our massage is going to pop up. So we can have all of these different functions for our massage here. You can control the intensity as well, and it actually does feel quite nice. I wouldn't say it's the most advanced feeling massage I've felt for a $110,000 vehicle, but it does get the job pretty well done. You can also control other stuff down here, such as your upper shoulder adjustments, lumbar support, as well as back bolster adjustments there. And our passenger seat over here is getting all the same options that I am getting as a driver, so that's really nice. Now I have to say the quality in here is also quite nice. I like how even these air vents are wrapped in this nice full grain leather, very easy to access as well. No kind of complicated stuff going on there. Our center console area over here as well, we have some storage on the side over here, as well as this nice stitching and leather piece over here to rest your knee on. Nice open pore wood. Now I do wish they made these open pore wood because they do feel a little bit plastically and cheap, even though they do look quite nice with this piano black. But over here we're going to find our wireless charger, as well as a USB-C and USB-A port, as well as two cup holders right here, and this closes up to kind of be a little more cleaner if you do like it. I love the design of this center armrest as well. We have the Denali Ultimate logo here, which is quite nice, and this awesome baseball stitching, full grain leather, and it's nice and soft and squishy. Opening this up is going to reveal, of course, a massive center console storage area over here with some illumination for you, which is nice. And we do still retain that awesome feature where this entire center console can move by pressing this little button up here. So all you have to do is press this, and the entire center console will slide itself back for you, and this will reveal a bigger storage area over here if you want to put like a bag or a purse or something. And you have some hidden storage all the way down here that can open up in this little drawer, rubber lined as well. Lock that up, so that's pretty cool. And you still have access to this upper portion there as well, so that's pretty nice. And that means your rear seat passengers will get a little bit easier access to those cup holders back there, and it moves pretty quickly as well, so it doesn't take a long time to adjust this center armrest area, which is pretty cool. And overall storage in here is nice. Our glove box as well is lockable, no power opening, which is nice. So it's traditional manual opening glove box, decent size in there, doesn't feel chintzy. And I love the kind of terrain design they have on this open pore wood. feels really premium and nice and goes throughout the entire dash. You can also find that nice stitching up here as well. And even on this side over here, getting this Denali Ultimate badge on our little cubby on the top of our dashboard over here, which is a nice touch. And also, like I mentioned, we have our digital rear view camera mirror here, so you can make that a regular mirror or have that as a camera if you do choose to have. But overall, this is a really, really nice interior. I think it's an incredible upgrade over the previous generation or pre-facelifted Yukon, and all of the Yukons are getting this display. So even if you're getting this Denali Ultimate or not, you'll still have this large display for you in this all-new Yukon, which is quite nice, as well as this digital cluster and newer style steering wheel. Of course, just not wrapped in all of this higher-end leather that this Denali Ultimate trim will be getting you guys. So let's go take this thing on a drive, see how it is out on the road, and see if this V8 is still as smooth but also powerful. Let's head off here. Really smooth shifts from this transmission. Of course, we all are familiar with the 6.2 liter V8. Really great commanding drive position, as we're very familiar with the Yukon and Tahoes. As again, this is not an all-new vehicle. It is a heavy facelift, I would say. We have Super Cruise on this one as well. Obviously works really good, as we've seen in other Super Cruise systems. Brakes are pretty nice and smooth. Coming to a full stop here. We do have auto stop start. Let's see if it does that here. Not in this case, probably not warm enough, but we do have the ability to turn auto stop start off if you do choose to want. So we also have a few drive modes to select from as well, air suspension modes. So we have plenty of stuff to kind of select in this truck. 4 high, 4 low. We're in 2 high right now. Really strong power from this V8. Of course, we're at 420-ish horsepower, and honestly the MPG isn't too bad. I think you can get around 20-21 MPG on the highway, even with these 24-inch wheels. I think that's still a pretty impressive feat for this big SUV. No shortages of power in this monstrous truck as well. I love that nice V8 rumble. It's definitely more muted than some other GM trucks that I've been in with this 6.2. It has a little more of a refined, smoother, luxurious sound to it, and this air suspension's honestly doing a great job, even with these 24-inch wheels, though. Not over every single surface. You can't really hide the fact that you have these giant wheels, even with air suspension. Over some of these little broken potholes and pavements we have over here, I can definitely feel some rattling. If all 4 wheels are kind of going over that same pavement, you kind of get that jittering going on with the body and frame chassis, which this is. But overall, I have to say it's really good. It's a very floaty air suspension, especially on the highway. It really feels like it's just floating and leaning like a Cadillac in that sense on the highway. Okay guys, let's head out onto the highway here in the all-new Yukon. We'll get a little bit of a more taste for that V8 acceleration sound there. Might as well pop it into the sport mode that we have available here as well. Let's see if we can get it into sport. There we go. I think that may lower the suspension, but it definitely gives us a little more revs, I would say, out of this engine and gearbox setup here. We have our nice turning mirrors right there, which is quite cool. It's no Escalade V, I can tell you that, but this thing still has that awesome burbly V8 sound. I'm sure it sounds way better outside. It's incredibly muted in here. Let's throw it back into normal mode. We don't need to be in sport mode in this big truck. But out here on the highway, oh boy, this is just a wonderful, absolutely wonderful cruising SUV on the highway. It's just so comfortable over these bumps. And honestly, that, like I mentioned earlier, the MPG is still pretty good. And when you're on the highway with this particular Denali Ultimate, if you do choose to get this one, you get the Super Cruise. And again, Super Cruise is one of my favorite highway driving assistance systems in terms of being hands-free. And once that signal pops up, really just press it, let it find itself and bearings, and voila, we are on Super Cruise mode. So like, yes, I can legally take my hands off the steering wheel here, set our speed. We have our following distance we can adjust here. We even get a Super Cruise style or more Super Cruise specific display on here showing our safety systems kind of all around us. So that works really well. And as we know with Super Cruise, it has automatic lane change as well as manual lane change assist. So I can just tap my indicator right here, and it will move lanes around for us. I guess we'll have a demonstration for that just in a second. I'm just going to tap it here. I don't have to touch the steering wheel. I do want to look, and we have this nice nifty camera here to show us what's happening. But it's taking this curve, changing lanes all at the same time. Did it really well. Not the quickest. I would say BMW and Mini systems are the ones that have the quickest automatic lane change that I have ever seen. It actually is very confidence inspiring how it does it, because it feels very confident in itself. But this is a pretty good system as well. And it does it automatically, just like the BMW system can do as well, which is pretty cool. It feels really nice in here, the smells of the leather. And let's test out this audio system. Now, this is not the fully updated audio system that you can get in this truck. There's actually another higher end audio system that I believe is more standard and more common in Escalade trims than this truck. But let's have a little bit of a go for this Bose Performance Series system and see how it sounds out here on the highway. And we have this giant, nice mute switch right there, which is really cool on the side if you want to just quickly quiet an audio. But pretty good system. It definitely feels like it's lacking some speakers. So I can see that the upgraded system would definitely improve the audio. And what I mean by that is that the sound sounds very, very loud in the lower level of the vehicle. If you notice up here, there are some speakers, but I don't feel like I'm getting a lot of audio pumped in from them. There's a few different settings you can adjust in your Bose adjustments there within the deeper menus of this audio system, but it really doesn't change that much. What I've noticed is just kind of adjusts the surround sound experience within the vehicle. But overall, pretty good. It has nice crystal clear audio, lots of bass. It's a really big cabin in here, so you're going to get a lot of nice sounds going around. But I'd like to see how that higher end 22 speaker Bose Performance Series audio system sounds versus this truck. Let's see how these second row captain's chairs are and see if they really are luxurious. So how is it back there? Are those chairs comfortable at all?
It's pretty comfy. There's a lot of leg room. We even have some heated seats down here. Unfortunately, no massage or ventilated seats. Unfortunately not, as those are locked to another package that this near $10,000 truck already should have, I would say. But that other package will unlock another extra set of speakers for you, so you'll have a little more speaker comfort. But is it comfortable back there? We have this full adaptive air suspension. Does it feel any bumpy going over this, more rough pavement over here? You feel a little bit of the bumps, but I would say it soaks it up pretty well. It drives like a cloud. It's pretty smooth back here. Around the turns, you don't really feel much movement, which is a pretty good thing. That is pretty good. And I would say it's not really bumpy. I would say most of the time, I would say over some broken pavement, you definitely could experience bumps, but it is at least quiet back there. I know it's pretty quiet up here. Yeah, it is very quiet. One thing I wish we did have, though, is sunshades to block out the sun, which unfortunately it is not sunny today, but that would be a nice... That would be a nice feature to have back there, some sunshades, especially in this high-end luxury truck. This still is one of the top in the class. Easy to use, I would say, infotainment system. You have a nice amount of features in here. I wish it had ambient lighting for around 110 grand. I think that's a little bit of a letdown for this more luxury class, but step up to a Cadillac for that. That's really what they're pushing still at the end of the day. This is still not a Cadillac. It's just the highest level of GMC you can get, but which is weird because you can get ambient lighting on a GMC Acadia Denali. Nonetheless, pretty cool truck. This is a nice week driving it. I love the Super Cruise, really comfortable. It feels expensive. Is it worth the extra money over going straight to an Escalade? I'm not too sure. I'm gonna have to get into the updated Escalade to really give you guys an answer on that one. But going over from the pre-facelifted Escalade and the Escalade V that we were able to drive, this is a pretty nice upgrade, especially over the pre-facelifted Yukon. I think this is an impressive upgrade, regardless of what trim, from Elevation, AT4, Denali, or Denali Ultimate. All of them are gonna get this nice, massive display, improved materials, redesigned looks. I think it's a solid facelift, and like I said, GM, you got another winner on your hands here. Thank you guys for joining me on yet another review and drive over here at Allcarnews, and as always, stay tuned for more coming soon. Cheers.